our second episode of making some fresh goat milk soap. Today we're going to actually be making a seasonal spring summer sale return, and that's going to be our Meteorite bar. It has activated charcoal, olive oil, coconut oil, of course goat's milk, and 3 blends of essential oils: lavender, lemon, and pine needle. It's a great bar. It smells so nice. And the reason why we named it Meteorite is because, well, it kind of looks like a meteorite. That's what I think it does. So, yeah, stick around, watch it with us. Hope you learned something new today. Thanks. So we're adding our lye, which is going to help melt down this goat's milk. We use a little bit of ice cubes in this mixed with the goat's milk. And the reason why we do that is because we don't want the goat's milk to overheat. If the goat's milk overheats, then it's going to turn brown, kind of nasty, and it's going to just kind of cook itself, which is what we don't want. We want the bars to look nice, creamy, delicious. And yeah, so we're using sodium hydroxide, lye. So you can kind of see it here. It's kind of starting to eat it away a little bit. And to let you folks know, we are doing a cold process method of making soap. This is technically, I mean, if you really want to get real good soap, this is the way you'll get it done. And I'm not hating on anybody else that they do hot process soap. Everybody's different. Hot process soap is a different technique, but they're still nice. This one requires a little bit more effort and work, but you can see here already that it's melting down pretty quickly. So the lye is going to help melt the goat's milk down, and we're going to just stir it here until we don't have any lye left in the solution. So this is a lye milk solution. Typically you're going to find that in most soap makers use water as a base, and we're using goat's milk as our base with a little bit of water melted just from the ice cubes. And again, that's just to help prevent it from overheating and the milk turning a yellowish brown color. And you need sodium hydroxide, which is lye, which is also known as caustic soda. You need that in order to make soap. And that is the only, well, I don't like to say that, but it's true. It's like the only known chemical to make soap. But I'll let you know in on a secret. There's no lye left once this is created into soap. Once you add the oils together, including the milk and everything together, which we'll get to, and we'll blend it together, there's no lye left over. And some people say, well, isn't that dangerous? It could be dangerous, yeah, such as like right now with the lye getting there. But once it's created into soap, it's no longer dangerous. So lye was actually created a long time ago from our ancestors. Whoever used to make soap, they used to actually extract it from ash, which is pretty awesome. So we're just going to keep mixing here, let this melt down. We have the oils already on our stove, which are warmed up and ready to roll. Precaution always, make sure you have glasses on, safety goggles or long sleeve shirts with gloves. I've been doing this for quite a while now, so I already know of what I can and cannot do, so I'm not too worried about it. But if you're a beginning soap maker and you're new to this, I highly suggest you take all precautions necessary. So my audio was having a little bit of problems here, so here we go with a recorded version of this, speaking over of what I'm doing here. As you can see here, I'm pouring the first of the oils, which is olive oil, and I really try to make sure that I scrape all of that oil out of that pot because it's not cheap. Secondly, we add the coconut oil. Same kind of process. It's our second oil that we're going to be adding here. Once again, making sure I'll get all of that scraped out of the bottom of the pot. Gonna add the last of our oils here. We're adding the essential oils blended. Once again, this is our Meteorite bar. It's a spring summer bar, so it smells really nice. Kind of wakes you up a little bit. It has lemon, lavender, and pine needle. It's a unique fragrance, and it's one of our favorites. That's why we returned it back. Now we're gonna burp it. That's why I'm kind of bouncing the hand mixer, so that way we're able to get all the air bubbles out of the oil. Just makes the stirring a little easier. Not only that, but this is the soap base, so we don't want any air bubbles in there. We want the soap to be nice and smooth at the end of the process. We don't really want to see any air bubbles inside the soap. And lastly, we're going to add the milk and lye solution, which is you saw earlier. Now this is what's actually going to transform all these oils into a saponification process and create soap. It's pretty awesome. I pour down the milk and lye solution down the shaft of the hand mixer, and once again just kind of trying to limit the amount of bubbles that are going to be inside the soap base here. And I didn't really have to burp it as much this time because we left the hand mixer in from the previous time, so it hasn't been out of the bucket. It's really cool to see soap being created here. You can kind of see here it's starting to change color a little bit. We want to make sure that we get all those oils and lye, milk, everything circulated, and make sure everything is transformed into soap. And it takes some time, just depends on how large the batch is. Right now we're dealing with a 10-pound batch, so it takes a little bit of effort. So now we're going to start separating the soap bases because we're going to do two different color swirls here. We're going to leave this one as a basic beautiful white color. Looks a little cream here, but it will lighten up after the soap is cured, or over the 24 hours when we pull it out of the molds, it'll change color. And then for this one here, what we'll do is we'll actually add the activated charcoal to this, so make this one just that, and you'll see that here in a second. Like I said, this is just our second video, but we do have a decent following on Instagram, I'd like to say, and a little bit on Facebook. We're still trying to build up our subscribers here on YouTube, so that's why we're trying to show the process more of a long video format in this. So stick around, hope you're enjoying it. As you can see, again, we added the activated charcoal. Where I was going with is, for those of you that are new to us, we are Milagro Goat Farm. We use nothing but real ingredients in our soaps. We use the goat's milk from our very own goats, so it makes us a little bit different than other soap makers. Some soap makers do use soap milk or goat milk on occasion, but every bar of ours is created with the goat's milk, and that's from our very own goats. Nothing but natural and organic ingredients. So like the activated charcoal powder we put in here is true certified organic. So again, nothing but best for your skin, and giving a little bit of that kind and lovingness back to you. So here we go with the first pour and first layer. And now we'll just keep kind of following the same process. So next up will be the uncolored soap base here. We'll just keep stacking them up. And what makes soap making fun, guys, is that it's handcrafted. Again, it brings out the creative juices in you. Like I was saying before, this is our Meteorite bar. So this is the third year we're bringing this bar out. We usually like to bring it out for the spring and summer release, just because, again, the fragrance that it gives off with the lemon, the lavender, and the pine needle is unique, but also refreshing. So maybe it's hot out, or things of that nature. It just kind of helps wake you up. It's mood boosting properties because of the lemon, and then calming because of the lavender. And then what's really cool too, lastly, to kind of help out with the activated charcoal, is that activated charcoal is really good for oily skin. I suffer from oily skin, usually around my nose and my forehead, so it's a pain in the butt. For those of you that have oily skin, yes, it's a pain at times. So it's really nice to use an activated charcoal bar to kind of withdraw those oils from your pores, but in a healthy way. That's what's really cool about it. And then, of course, lastly, I was going to is the pine needle. It smells fresh and clean, specifically paired with the lemon, kind of like a pine salt smell, but without, of course, the active chemicals in that. So it's really nice. What makes us a little bit different too is that we pour the soap in each mold here one at a time. It makes the process a little difficult at times because you got to be aware of your temperatures, and if not, the soap will thicken really quickly and you'll get an ugly looking bar. It will work great, but aesthetically it might not be the best looking bar of soap. Most soapers usually like to pour soap into a loaf. Kind of gives them a little more time to work on it. It's a little easier, and again, not throwing any shade on anybody else. Everybody has their own technique, but right here it is a little difficult and time consuming, so we got to work kind of quickly, but also make sure that we're not pouring too much or spilling or anything of that nature. We hope you've enjoyed this video and learned a little bit more about our soap making process. I'll show you here afterwards the end product after it is pulled out of the molds, and yeah, you'll kind of get the idea of why we call this bar Meteorite. And it kind of has that galaxy look to it. So thanks for watching. We hope you learned a little bit more about who we are and what we do here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe, like, set the notification bar, all that good stuff. If not, follow us on Instagram. Thanks, guys.